So let's talk about how you try to make that transition from
Right.
ballet to wrestling. How did that come about?
Okay, so unfortunately, and this is going to be very political, but um, the world of professional wrestling was different 10 years ago, 12 years ago. In 2011, I remember studying WWE, and when I turned on the channel, mind you, I'm a 18-year-old little girl that has battled bulimia and anorexia. I have battled eating disorders my entire life. And I turned on the channel to study wrestling because I want to take this balleting seriously.
Right.
And this is nothing against the wrestlers. They're just doing their job. But unfortunately, the storyline they were given, it was like the Bella twins were fat shaming. I think her name was Caitlyn, and they were doing a segment with like cake and making her eat it and calling her fat when she was super skinny and in amazing shape, but she had a little more meat on her. And I just remember seeing that and I'm like, dear God, how disgusting.
Was that Mickey James? I think it was Mickey James and Lay Cool.
She had the double hair. She had blonde and then black under, and I think her name was Caitlin,
Yeah, it
and
was
then
yeah,
another.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
it
got you.
broke my heart. Broke my heart. And nothing against, they were doing their job. That was a storyline. They're not,
Hmm.
obviously nothing against them,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that's the wrestling community I was brought up in. And it was even more toxic and gross on the independent scene. So I'm like, I'm not even in love with the business. Like, this is so abusive. Like, the modeling world isn't even this bad. I was like, what is wrong with you guys? And it was like that on the indies. So it took me 2 years in the business as a valet, as a manager, to even fall in love with the business because it was so abusive and toxic. And like, I had everyone was aware of, I was in a great shape too. I was a healthy young kid, but having a past eating disorder, I had people in Kentucky, like actual female talent that was way older than me. They would tell the marks in the crowd that were like family members and stuff to call me Miss Piggy. And I never gave consent. That wasn't a part of the storyline. They weren't even a part of a storyline with me. They were doing something else. Like, I was literally just managing this guy and he was wrestling this guy. We had nothing to do with them. So it wasn't even a storyline. They were bullying me. And I was smaller than them and better shape than them. And they still tried to attack me. And that's the wrestling community I was involved in at just such an 18, 19-year-old kid. And these people are in their late 20s, early 30s. And they treated me really badly. And it was really hard because there wasn't the call out movement yet. There wasn't screenshots yet.
The
There
speaking out
wasn't,
movement. Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't anything I could do about it. And you just had to take it. I remember being on the indies and this woman, and she's still involved with the business unfortunately, but she's old enough to be my mom. She would want everyone to go to the bars without her, and the bar was connected to the independent show, and all the marks would go after, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go there. And then, what would it look like, a heel and baby face sitting at the bar right after a show, and you're supposed to believe the feud that's going to continue next week. So I felt like it ruined the illusion of professional wrestling and storytelling for the fans. But I was 18, 19, so I couldn't even get in. And she was like celebrating her birthday or whatever, and all these wrestlers were going. I'm like, oh, we have to go home. I have a 4 hour drive. And to this day, that woman hates me and thinks I snubbed her. And it's like, no, I was 19 years old. I can't get into a bar. I'm not going to drink alcohol illegally. I'm not going to hang out with all the fans in the crowd where I'm a heel at this show. And then, ironically, the reason that woman didn't like me was is she said I was an actor getting involved with the business.
Hmm. I mean,
It was
you're.
bad. 2011 was bad.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. That's
Oh,
horrible.
there's so much more, but it's just I just, I'll write a book about it one day and I'll name names one day, but it's scary because all the people that fat shamed me, body shamed me, bullied me, cyberbullied me, um, treated me badly. The majority of them are still in the business to this day, and they're pretending to be mom and dads of the business and being nice. And it's like, man, if I had screenshots of 2016, because this continued all the way up to 2016, it was insane.
Oh, I'm very sorry.